Hey everyone! Welcome back to your go-to place for coin collectors, history buffs, and curious minds. Today, we're diving deep into a piece of American pocket change that's older than some of us, the 1976 United States 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial penny. Stay tuned as we uncover its history, design, metal composition, mintage numbers, and of course, its current value in circulated condition. You might be surprised at what this little copper coin can tell us. Let's rewind to 1976, a significant year in American history. It was the bicentennial year, marking 200 years since the United States declared independence in 1776. Many coins released that year, like the quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, received special bicentennial designs. That's right, the 1976 Lincoln cent retained its usual design.
Why?
Well, the Lincoln cent had already been honoring President Abraham Lincoln since 1909, and the reverse, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, was added in 1959, marking Lincoln's 150th birthday. Let's look at the design details of the 1976 penny. Features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. You'll also see the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1976 shows the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny representation of the Lincoln statue inside the memorial. That's some serious detail for such a small coin. The 1976 penny was still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which gives it that classic copper color. This is important because in 1982, the U.S. Mint shifted to mostly zinc pennies to cut costs. So yes, the 1976 penny is heavier and more solid than modern ones. Philadelphia, over 4.6 billion pennies. Denver, over 4.2 billion penny. That's more than 8.8 billion pennies minted that year. So yes, the 1976 penny is far from rare, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. Alright, let's talk money. What is the 1976 Lincoln penny worth in circulated condition? In average circulated condition, it's still worth 1 cent, its face value. However, due to its high copper content, it has a metal melt value of around 2 to 3 cents, depending on copper prices. So technically, it's worth more than its face value, but you can't legally melt U.S. coins for metal in better condition, like AU, about uncirculated, or uncirculated, mint state. The coin might fetch 10 to 50 cents, depending on the buyer or collector. If you're lucky enough to have one in MS65 red condition, that's a bright, shiny uncirculated penny. It could be worth up to $5 to $10, or more at auction if it's nearly flawless. Now here's where it gets interesting. There are some error coins and varieties from 1976 that collectors love. If you spot one of these, your penny could be worth $10 to $100 or more, depending on the severity and demand. Oh, always check your change. You might be holding on to a small treasure. So, is the 1976 penny rare? Not really. But it's still a cool piece of American history. One that connects us to the nation's 200th birthday and to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. And who knows? With error varieties or pristine condition, it could be worth more than just a single cent. So next time you're sorting through your change or coin jar, don't overlook the humble 1976 penny. It might just make your day. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person, breaking the tradition of using symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. The obverse design, front, was created by Victor David Brenner, showing a portrait of Lincoln based on a photograph taken by Anthony Berger in 1864 IN 1959. The reverse design was changed from wheat stalks, wheat penny, to the Lincoln Memorial to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. This new reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo, then chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The memorial design ran from 1959 until 2008, when it was replaced in 2009 by 4 different designs celebrating Lincoln's life for his bicentennial. Followed by the Union Shield in 2010. 1976 ** marked 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, making it a significant patriotic year in U.S. history. Several U.S. coins, the quarter, half dollar, and dollar, received special bicentennial designs with dual dates 1776 to 1976 and patriotic imagery. The Lincoln cent did not receive a special bicentennial design and kept its traditional format. This is because Lincoln had already been honored for his own milestones, 1909 and 1959. The Mint focused the special bicentennial efforts on larger denomination coins. Despite no design change, the 1976 Lincoln cent saw massive production. Over 8.8 billion pennies were minted between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. It was produced using the same copper alloy, 95% copper, 5% zinc, that had been used since 1962, just before the switch to copper-plated zinc in 1982. Because of the high mintage, it is still very common in circulation today, although overshadowed by the specially designed bicentennial coins. The 1976 penny remains an interesting artifact. It connects the legacy of Abraham Lincoln with a year that honored American independence. It reflects a stable coin design that was in use for almost 50 years, 1959 to 2008. And due to its copper content, it's often saved by collectors and metal investors. The 1976 1-cent coin is a standard-issue Lincoln Memorial cent minted during a historically significant year. It did not receive a bicentennial redesign but remained a durable and symbolic part of American coinage. Its continued circulation today tells a story of enduring design, mass production, and economic history during America's 200th year. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1980 USA Lincoln 1-cent coin, a small copper piece that's part of nearly every American's pocket change history. But is it worth more than 1 cent today? Let's find out. The 1980 Lincoln cent was part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial cent series, minted from 1959 to 2008. This design features the classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, a portrait that dates back to 1909. On a reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This reverse was used from 1959 to 2008 before being replaced by the shield design in 2010 in 1980. The penny was still being made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, just before the full transition to copper-plated zinc coins in late 1982 due to rising copper prices. That makes the 1980 penny part of the copper era. The 1980 Lincoln cent was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, asterisk asterisk, over 7.4 billion coins were made. Denver, D mint mark, asterisk asterisk, around 5.1 billion coins were struck. San Francisco, S mint mark, asterisk asterisk, but only as proof coins, not for general circulation. These high mintage numbers mean that most 1980 Lincoln cents are still very common, especially in circulated condition. Now, let's talk about value. The circulated 1980 Lincoln cent typically holds a value of 1 cent asterisk asterisk in everyday use, but due to its copper content, each coin has an approximate melt value of about 2 to 3 cents, depending on copper prices. That's right, your 1980 penny is technically worth more than face value just for its metal. However, it's illegal to melt U.S. coins for profit, so these values only apply to collectors and investors who save copper coins in bulk. And the coin collecting world, a circulated 1980 penny doesn't carry much premium, unless it's in near uncirculated, AU, or mint state, MS, condition. Now here's where it gets interesting: error coins. Some 1980 pennies can be worth serious money if they have the right kind of error. Look out for double die obverse, DDO, where the date or the word Liberty appears doubled off-center strikes asterisk asterisk, where the design is misaligned. Die cracks, cuds, or clipped planchets asterisk asterisk, unique minting defects that collectors love. Depending on the type and condition of the error, these coins can sell for anywhere from $10 to over $100 or more. To determine if your 1980 penny is valuable, examine it closely asterisk asterisk under a magnifying glass or coin microscope. Look for sharp details, luster, and any unusual markings or doubling. If you believe you found a high-grade or error coin, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. If you have a jar full of 1980 copper pennies, it's smart to hold on to them. With copper prices rising over the years, many collectors are building copper hoards for future value. On the other hand, if you find a mint state coin or error, selling it online through platforms like eBay or coin auctions might be worthwhile. While most 1981 cent coins won't make you rich overnight, they're definitely more valuable than they look, especially because of their copper content and possible errors. Have you found a rare 1980 penny in your collection? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest coin videos. This is Mara, unlocking the hidden value of your pocket change, one coin at a time.